All right, let's continue with the news. Ryan McCaffrey, Shark Finnegan, Destin Legary joining you.
Hi, everybody.
Marty on vacation. Mitch
just
working
lazy.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Didn't want to walk over here from his desk.
It's all the way over there, guys. I can't make it.
Can we do the show at my desk? No, Mitch. First up this week, former Xbox boss Robbie Bach has been making the rounds on a book tour. He wrote himself a book about his days working at Microsoft. He talked to GeekWire about a few interesting topics I thought would be worth mentioning and discussing. First up, the reasons for the Xbox's success. He says, quote, "One, Microsoft was persistent and willing to fund us, which in some ways was not mathematically logical, but a good thing. Second was Halo. People forget, though, that the first version of Halo didn't support Xbox Live because Xbox Live didn't exist when it shipped. The third thing was Xbox Live. Without Halo and Xbox Live, Xbox doesn't make it."
I hacked my Xbox to you. There was some game app that came out where people could actually play Halo online.
XB Connect.
Is that what it was?
It too.
Yeah, it was
I did
XB
it
Connect,
too.
and you could play online Halo 1.
It was laggy as heck, though, because
it was rough, but it was such a cool experience
was.
because back then nothing really was doing that yet.
I was very well aware that you did not have online support for the first Halo because much of my high school experience was LAN parties over the weekend where you would system link and play 4v4.
Which is the best way to play.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy had this house where, you know, it was a 2-leveled house, and his room was on the bottom floor, and then the living room was on the top floor, and we'd system link down.
Running the network cable.
Yeah, network cable down the stairs, blue team up top, red team down below, blue team for life.
That's
cool. We played the same, like, 8 of us on weekends.
Blood
for,
Gulch?
You know, basically the whole, like, all of my high school years. And
That's so great.
It was that and Counter-Strike that we'd land, like, we'd switch off. And
The Xbox version of Counter-Strike?
Oh, no, not that. PC version.
The PC version.
Yeah. I've said it before on Unlocked, but that generation, the Xbox, the original Xbox, PS2, GameCube generation, that's the generation of consoles I missed out on because I was so involved in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So I had to go play it with my friends, but that was fine because we played every weekend, and that was my formative years of Halo.
And you know, we always say that, oh yeah, the Xbox wouldn't have made it without Halo. But it's very interesting to hear Robbie Bach say it. Hear him say, like, yep, that console wouldn't have made it if it hadn't been for Halo. And it's true. I mean, that the rest of the lineup was mostly terrible for the first year. Yeah. Other than, like, you had Halo, which was the killer app, and then you just had everything else. And it wasn't until I started at OXM at the exact perfect time. I started in October of 2002, which was just right about 1 year into the Xbox. And that was when Live launched. That was when Splinter Cell came out. That was when just a bunch of stuff started to. That was when the sort of that second wave of games started to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that first year, that was Halo carrying the team on its back.
And Fusion Frenzy. Actually, I don't remember if that game was out that year, but I remember playing a lot of Fusion Frenzy too.
Oh, you're not being sarcastic.
No, dude. Fusion Frenzy was a great alternative. Like, once Halo once you've been playing for 10 hours, you're like, let's play a little Fusion Frenzy. There was this mini game where, like, you're basically on a screw and you have to, like, you're all running along and going up and you have to, like, jump over things and then dive, and it gets faster and faster and faster, and it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool little mini games in that thing.
I played Rainbow Six. Ton of Rainbow Six.
Well, that didn't come out till 2003.
Oh, really?
That was Rainbow Six 3 was.
My Xbox memories are Halo 1.
Yep.
And then Rainbow Six. Like, that's what I come back to when I think of that console.
Yeah,
maybe a little Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. Well, I reviewed Rainbow Six 3 for the original Xbox. It was Christmas. It was fall of 2003. So the year after Live launched, but the year before Halo 2 came out and completely sent everything into the stratosphere. And yeah, Rainbow Six 3 was a big effing deal. It was so
phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
And that was you could use your headset from Xbox Live to give the voice commands to your team. You get your AI buddies.
The reason I got the game is because I needed a headset for like online, because I knew Halo 2 was coming, right? And I'm like, well, it comes bundled with Rainbow Six. I'll try out this Rainbow Six game, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah. The OXM crew would give me so much crap for doing the voice commands in the off. I'd be like, go, 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 and they'd be like, you're so dumb. And sure enough, what are we doing years later?
Yeah.
We're giving voice commands to everything.
Everyone gives me crap because it's like, I'm marked, oracles. Yeah.
I'm the one who gives him the most credit.
Yeah.
I sit next to Destin. I have to listen to him muttering that stuff all the time.
Do you
Guys, you're ruining my footage.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Do you think you mutter Destiny raid commands in your sleep?
In
at
my
this point?
sleep? No. Definitely.
How do
We
you
need to ask
know?
your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
You
he say
wouldn't
anything
know.
weird while he sleeps? Yeah, something about I need a
Oracles
cleanse.
or-
Yeah.
I just figured he ate bad food that day.
Something about grabbing the relic.
Yeah.
So another interesting bit from Robbie Bach, he says the original Xbox lost between $5 and $7 billion,
Ugh.
which we knew it was.
The OG one.
A big
And then the
loss.
next one with the red ring.
Well,
You know?
yeah, the 1 point something billion dollar, $1.1 billion write down, but the 360 eventually made money.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original Xbox was. That's why they killed it. So they've said. I mean, Peter Morse said. I mean, I think they've said it before, but back on Unlock 201, he said that we couldn't kill it fast enough because it was costing them money with every box they sold. Every box they sold was
Still a huge amount of money, $5 to $7 billion. I wouldn't have guessed it was that much. But I guess when
a
you
lot.
include like R&D
Marketing.
and marketing and yeah, and this was their first foray into hardware, right? Like at this point, Microsoft hadn't made any hardware.
Let's see here. Well, that's a good question. That was certainly pre-Zune, Kurt. Had they built? That's an excellent question. I'd have to think more about. I don't know.
So let's follow
I'm
up
sure
on
they've
that.
made something. They must have made something at that point.
I mean, I'm sure they'd prototype stuff, right? There was
Yeah.
those. There are those photos of Bill Gates introducing what is ostensibly an iPad, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
2001, and then everyone being like, "That thing sucks," and then 10 years later, Steve
Yeah.
Jobs does it, and was like,
Ubiquitous.
"That thing is awesome,"
Yeah.
right?
Amazing.
But I don't think that I remember any other Microsoft hardware specifically being made before the Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it was all software. I could be wrong
We'll
though.
roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a software company, or always had been.
Yeah.
And then the other interesting tidbit that Mr. Bach dropped, he said he was talking about the always rumored Xbox handheld, the Xboy, as it were.
Oh boy.
Glad
He
that
said-
didn't come out.
We had 5 things we had to do to make Xbox successful. If you add Xboy to that, that's another 5 or 10 things that have to get done. The team just could not possibly have done that. We literally said no for the most part, just out of focus. As it turned out, it was brilliant because that market went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still get tweets or podcast emails from time to time like, do you think Microsoft will make a handheld? Like, that ship sailed years ago.
Yeah, I mean, people who've had great success with it in the past, like Vita, even failed pretty hardcore, and now Sony doesn't even talk about Vita ever.
Well, and I say this not in a like fanboy troll way, but have any of the PlayStation handhelds even been really successful? I mean, the original.
I'm under the impression that the PSP
the
was
original
pretty successful.
PSP, I guess in Japan,
Right? That's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I was basing that statement
In
on.
bought
Japan,
an
it did
OG
really well,
PSP.
right? Because it never did super well here. I had one.
Yeah.
I bought it at launch and ended up selling it after a while because I
bought
just
a
didn't
launch
use it.
one, sold it when version 2 came out, and then
Right.
bought a version 3 because it was the superior. It
Go?
was like the no.
The
there were-
OLED one? No, wait, sorry, that was way later.
Okay, so there's version 1, there was version 2, which is an upgraded version 1. Then there was a third version where they upgraded the amount of pixels on the screen and it looked a lot more crisp and had better battery life. That's the version I bought and own. And then they did the Go, the smaller one.
Which
yeah.
bombed. It was just not.
It was-
the world.
yeah,
it was a
nobody wanted
little.
that thing.
Well, it was because it was pretty much all digital.
Yeah.
And the world wasn't quite ready for all digital yet.
I think they weren't ready for UMD. They were certainly
Yeah.
not ready for digital. Yeah.
Luminous was amazing, though. I will always remember Luminous fondly.
The system had great games, but that's what I meant when I said
in
that.
any
Is like PlayStation has kind of a history in doing like handheld successfully, and I mean obviously Nintendo, but neither of those are selling, except for the 3DS, are selling well.
But even the 3DS isn't doing great now.
I mean, it's doing
fine.
It's doing great for a handheld, but
Yeah.
when you compare, like when you lump in handhelds with other handhelds like iPhones, exactly, then it's not performing comparatively.
Apple
at
just
all.
announced their new iPhones, actually. That's why I'm like
Did they really?
fiddling
you
on my
keep
phone.
you keep
Sorry.
Is that
I'm
still going up
curious.
out
Yeah, it's still going on.
Okay.
We're recording as the Apple conference is like blaring
Well,
from our.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we knew the success was coming. Are you really? You have
I'm not
you have a
surprised.
6 Plus. What do you care?
Yeah, I have a 6 Plus. I just want battery life, man. Battery life in a smaller version.
Oh, you want the
Yeah.
6 Plus's battery life in the 6?
In the 6,
That's
yeah.
what I want to. Because the 6 Plus, honestly, man, it's too big.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Welcome to
Yeah,
Tech
sorry.
Fetish.
Sorry.
Tech
yeah.
Fetish tangent.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tech Fetish.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
glad they didn't do the Xboy.
Yeah, I mean, to
bring it
Yeah,
back.
if they were gonna do it, they would have had to have done it around the time the 360 launched, which, as Robbie Bach says, they probably both products probably would have suffered if they would have split their focus between a handheld and the 360.
Yeah.
Valid concern.
So, yeah, the Xboy, it did never and will never happen, folks.
Good.
In case you're curious.